Hey, everybody. You know what? Gas is so expensive. No matter where you live right now, gas is an arm and a leg. But you know what's cheap? Oh, wait. Welcome to Do It Like Danny. I think when I was younger, I kind of put up that shell of, I'm invincible. Nothing can hurt me.
I'm going to have to edit that hard.
The Talk, a show that I worked for many years.
Yeah.
Right. Had a reunion. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you so much. Listen, I want to say thank you to everyone that's been sharing, listening, liking, loving, especially sharing with their friends the shows that I did last week and then the week before. I'm so happy that the folks that we gave shout outs to, our brand new listeners, hit me up and said thank you, and that was wonderful. Did you get any new listeners, Louie?
We always get some new listeners, especially on YouTube. We're getting some movement over there. So I want to say thank you to everybody who is liking, following, subscribing, and word of mouth.
Yes, and hopefully you've all gone to the store to buy Tatemada. So Tatemada is the brand that I spoke about last week, and let me tell you, I don't know if they've seen an increase in sales, probably millions.
Imagine.
But what I can say is I've actually had friends reach out to me to say that they've gone to purchase their items, and they agree with me. They're absolutely delicious.
Nice.
So hashtag Tatemada Eats. In addition to, following do.it.like.danny and Do It Like Danny Show.
We have two of them.
I know we have two of them. Because, God, my ego needs enough of it,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, a lot of really good feedback from last week. First of all, how was your week?
My week's been pretty good. The weekend, I went to visit this school that's down the street in North Hollywood from me. It's called Noman. So they teach digital art. It's all about being in production and film. So if you want to do digital art, you want to do sculpting, you want to do editing, how I'm doing, that's what's there. It's kind of cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it was a 4-hour free thing that I could go to, and I got some information, and I might go back to school.
So will you be able to continue that then? Or how does that work?
What do you mean?
Did you sign up there at that moment, or you have to wait? Or
I didn't sign up there. I wanted to see some of the pricing, and I saw some of the pricing. So I'm going to take one class first, see if I like it, and then from there I'm going to move forward. If I like it, I'll stay. If I don't, then I tried it.
And there's no Obamacare pricing?
You know what? I think I'm too old.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no. I thought it was free.
Some of it when you're
free,
young, you can get certain Cal grants and things like that. But when you're a little bit older,
I mean, you don't look old though.
Yeah,
Can't
I know,
you
right?
fib?
Get a fake ID. It says I'm 25, 24.
I mean, if some of the illegals can go down to Alvarado Street and get a fake ID, couldn't you do the reverse?
I could. Watch me get caught, though, on ice of all things.
Yeah, but that's just it, though. That's the best part. It's I'm of age. Joke's on you.
I'm going to end up on one of those private detective people who is online.
God. That's actually a good idea. I think I might do that. I think I'm going to stay 32 forever.
They're going to do a 60 Minutes on me.
On both of us. We both go to jail.
How was your weekend?
It was good. I've just been so busy. It's just been a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Working for Morinaga Foods and just doing privates and running around and it's and listening to feedback from the show, right?
You always bring up feedback. Why is that so important to you? Because for me, when I do the show, it's for us, right? We started this. Not that I'm saying I don't listen to feedback. I will always listen to feedback, but I always want to keep it kind of centered to what you and I want to do. So why is feedback so important to you?
Lately it's been a little important because as I get older, right? I think when I was younger, I kind of put up that shell of, I'm invincible. Nothing can hurt me, right? I'm strong and you could say whatever.
So why do you feel like you always need to have this hard exterior?
Oh, wow, Louie.
We're getting 60 Minutes.
We're getting Barbara Walters right off the bat. We just started. Yeah, right? Listen, I was a fat kid. I was a gay kid. I didn't know what I was. I didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And so I put on the face of the clown. I was the character that if I made fun of myself first,
nobody could do it for you.
Nobody could do it. And if they tried to, I was like, really? You think you can make a joke? I am going to make fun of myself 100 times, worse than that, right?
It's rejection before rejection.
And so now, you learn as you get older, it's called self-deprecating. And wow, there's so much humor in that, right?
What's the self-defense mechanism, though? I mean, let's be honest, right?
It is, absolutely. And I think that because I kind of never outgrew that phase, being young and then being in television and just living the life that I've lived. It's been amazing and wonderful and insane, all mixed up in one. But, deep inside, there were cracks, right? There were cracks. And so coming full circle about feedback, it's important to me now because I always wanted to be heard.
Got it.
And I always fought for underdogs, believe it or not. And some people would disagree, but I always wanted to be fair. I always want to present a fair argument in a world that isn't fair.
Would you say you put yourself last and other people first at times when doing that?
Yeah, I had. And, I think the part that kind of hurts my feelings the most and when it comes to things like that is I never wanted to be that kind of person that was, like you see these influencers. Oh, my God, I gave a homeless person 50 cents. It was my last 50 cents for Starbucks, but I gave it to a homeless person, right?
Like, follow, subscribe.
Right? And they're, like, recording themselves do that.
And the homeless people are always like, what's going on?
Yeah. No, it's totally true, right?
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be like that. I never wanted to be that person. I never wanted to be that look at me, right?
But we also don't come from that generation, let's be honest.
Well,
it's always the left doesn't tell what the right hand is doing, right?
Correct. And I think that, coming back to feedback, it's important to me because as I've gotten older, it's no longer about the quantity of friends that I have, but the quality. And let me tell you, I have some really quality friends.
Yeah.
Rue and Philip and George. And honestly, like the list.
Karen.
Yeah, Karen. Oh my God. I should have said Karen first. He's going to be like, he's going to be so mad in
See,
Canada.
I remember Karen.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're Karen. And then Polly. So the list is endless in terms of the quality now that I have obtained and that I've built.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How could I even forget Dana?
Yeah.
Linda. Like I don't want to be like, oh my God, I'm so blessed, right? I think I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
I'm very, very lucky to have been inducted. I'm going to get really
in the Hall of
I'm going
Fame.
to get so emotional right now. Right?
In the Danny Hall of Fame.
No, not so much in the Danny Hall of Fame. I feel so honored to have been inducted into Rue's family and George's family and Dana's family and Linda's family. And yes, I have my own family. And there's, I'm not saying that I'm missing something, but people always tell me, oh my God, you touched my life. My friend Eve was like, she's like, one day and this is a side, obviously, story from feedback, but it kind of fits. We were driving and she said to me, she goes, you saved my relationship. And I was like,
What?
What are you talking about? She goes, I don't think you even know it, but what came out of your mouth was pure truth because of feedback and things that I had told you about my boyfriend. And then you kind of came back and you threw it in my face.
Oh, interesting.
And she goes, and it wasn't mean. She goes, you weren't being malicious. She goes, but the way that you explained it, she goes, it made me think I am a lucky girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, right? I never think that I can impact people's lives, right? Because, Danny goes through his life and he does what he does and he does what he does. But to hear that kind of feedback, and that's not the only story. There's so many more stories that people have, taken the time, like, Phil's brother when he shared about his cousins. And, there's all those amazing moments, right? And, speaking of family and feedback and why we were talking about this was because, Rue actually brought up a good point. So last week when we were talking about family, he said, I didn't have a connection with that because I never had that. And I don't want to put words in his mouth. Rue grew up the way that he grew up, right? It was, I don't know if it was regimented, and we'll have him on the show one day. And he said, I didn't quite understand when you were talking about your aunts and your uncles because I didn't come from a big family.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I go, that's a great point of view, right? I guess in the past, Danny would have been like, okay, whatever, right? Not dismissive, but I would have made a joke about it because that is the character
that you've created.
That I've created. It's resilient, I'm strong, it bounces off of me, water off a duck's back, right? And so when he said that to me, I was like, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. And as I've gotten older, I'm trying to think of it in every single way.
Is it more of a humbling experience for you?
Oh, absolutely. Oh my
Okay.
God, absolutely. Yeah. And seriously, that's a great question. Absolutely. It is very humbling. It's humbling in a way that, it's allowing me to listen deeper and to to live deeper.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, I think listen, the universe always knows exactly what you need, right?
Yeah.
And so the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because, you know, when it comes to family, I thought that I was a part of a family.
Yeah.
And it's not my own personal family, but this makes me sad.
What makes you sad?
So, The Talk, a show that I worked for many years.
Yeah.
Right? I had a reunion.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
Were you invited?
No, I wasn't invited.
How did
Somehow,
that-
maybe it got lost in the mail. Right?
Well, especially right now with what's going on with USPS, right?
Yeah.
But how did that make you feel? First of all, how did you find out about it?
Well, of
Start
course,
there.
people started posting online, right?
Got it. Okay.
And they were, oh, we had a Talk reunion. And in all the photos, it was the popular people.
Got it.
I was quickly reminded that I was nobody. And the reason why that I say that is because I worked there just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that worked in that show. That show went on for 15 years. So somebody was in charge of the invite list.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people that I didn't see, right? And some people, of course, obviously, you know, they've moved on in life.
Yeah, yeah.
They live out of state.
Or they passed.
They pass. And but you know, I think what shocked me the most is, you know, David was there.
Yeah.
You know, and all the people that I knew, right?
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
How many people did you see there that got the boot, so to speak?
Oh, I didn't really see. Well, I really wasn't paying that much attention.
Got it.
Because to be honest, once I saw the photos, I was like, you know what? I don't want to rub salt into open wounds, right?
But that's also a very touchy part of your life because it got some positives, but then it also has some very deep negatives, right?
Correct. Right? But, you know, who I was then is not who I am now.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's why I kind of wanted to explain that a little bit, right? And people will say, oh, but you are, right?
You are and you're not.
I am
right?
and I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I'm learning to try to listen deeper and be a different person, right?
Now, how do you feel about that? Like, do you miss that old person or are you glad to have put that behind you and move forward now?
You know what? 1,000,000%. Great question. Honestly, I am so happy to have that's in the past.
Yeah.
Right? But, you know, you're led to believe that you're a family.
Yeah.
Right? My
Yes.
Talk family. I mean, all the people that, you know, listen, there was another giveaway coordinator there also. I mean, I don't know if she was invited. There's tons of people that worked in that show. If your goal was to create a reunion, right? A reunion is everybody that was a part of that, right?
That made the show, really.
That made the show.
Including the hosts.
Including the host. And there were some hosts that were there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really, they were all new,
It was
right?
the newer host, yeah.
It was the
I
newer
would not
host.
expect some of the older hosts to do
Yeah,
that.
I
No
didn't
way.
see. I don't think Julie or Sarah, any of them would have ever set foot in there.
No way.
But it's more than that, though, right? It's about. I worked on that show.
Yeah.
And I should have at least, I think, in my mind, been given an opportunity to. I don't want to say redeem myself, but maybe a second chance because people change.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If they had asked you to go, you would have went 100%.
Absolutely, I would have. But there's so now this is the old Danny, right? So there's like different parts of me that are like, okay, I know I wasn't invited because maybe I would have stole another person's shine.
But does that matter anymore?
It doesn't matter
It
anymore.
doesn't, huh?
It doesn't, right?
So-
it doesn't.
So I guess the
But I-
takeaway, right, is that those people are still trapped possibly into that mindset. They're still looking at old Danny. But there's a new Danny. There's a different person. There's a person who would have sat there, enjoyed just the atmosphere and the vibe, and probably would have just liked to be around some of those old people who haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah. And you know what hurt me the most though is because there was the person who put together, I think her name was Laurie, right? Who I work with in my final days there at the Talk. And I learned so much from her. Like I loved every minute of her. And maybe it's my fault I never told her, but I could have sworn every show that I did with her. In fact, I will admit this. I learned so much.
Yeah.
I learned so many different things. And maybe it's my fault for never telling her, but I don't know. it was just one of those things where I saw the photos and I was like, I knew those people too.
Yeah.
I knew them, but it really felt at that moment I was reverting back to high school.
Yeah.
And the popular people were invited.
Yeah.
The people that, and I hate to say this, drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The people that drank the Kool-Aid were the ones that showed up because,
Yeah.
they were the only ones that ever worked on that show. And that mindset, I broke a while back. And there's a wonderful producer by the name of Jennifer. And one day I was like, gosh, I'm so busy. I have this. And she looked at me, she goes, you're right, Danny Verdugo. She goes, you're the only person that works on this show. She goes, you're the only person that's busy. Only you. And I was like, oh shit, she just put me on, and I thought about it. And I was like, she's so right.
Yeah.
And so I have gone away from that. I don't ever say like, I'm the only person that does it. And and my staff, whenever I would get compliments, and even David can say this, I'd say I would never be able to do this without my team.
Yeah.
I was always team oriented. And I don't know if that put a target on my back or if it made me untouchable, which are probably both the same thing. Listen, was I high maintenance? Absolutely.
It is Hollywood, right?
I'm not going to lie.
TV?
I'm not going to lie, but that's the thing. I was in my mind, I don't think I was ever a horrible enough person to actively go after someone.
Yeah.
People buried themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My end of days at the talk were a little bit different. People actually colluded together to come after me.
Yeah. Which we never finished.
We never finished. We will one day.
You say we will one day, but why haven't we followed up with these stories? Because remember, that's where we started first. So why haven't we gotten to the end?
The truth of it is, the one person that I thought was my friend because I thought I was a part of that family was Heather. And when she colluded with the others, the Mark and the Brittany and the Joy, and they all colluded together to
we're
get
getting
me
names
out.
now.
Yeah. Yeah, because at this point, it's like,
It's moot.
it's over. It's like, it's over, right? The show's over.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to blame anybody, but I'm giving factual information. The people that were involved were those particular names, right?
Yeah.
And I think when we first started, I think it worked because in my mind, I always thought that on this show, I would eventually have Heather and we would amicably hash it out because we were friends at one point.
Yeah.
We were cordial to each other. We worked on Tyra and then we worked at the talk. She came in after me on the talk. And I'm not saying that there's any precedent in there. She was definitely at a higher level as an executive. But even Mark lived with me. So the two people whom I would have never in a million years thought were trying to get me out were those two people.
Yeah.
And so I really thought that I was a part of a family because, of course, I still had my blinders on and I sort of in the back of my mind loved everybody, right? Yes, Danny Verdugo put that hard shell. Danny Verdugo, yes, put that I'm invincible, but I still cry.
Yeah.
And I still bruise
Still have
and
feelings,
bleed like
yeah.
I still have, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
So I thought that in the whole scheme of things, as you produce a show, right, that I thought that would be an amazing show. All of us getting together and finally not hashing it out, but because we're older now and your priorities change. Mine have changed.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, Heather passed away.
Yeah.
And that kind of just, it was a bubble pop.
Yeah. Does that feel like some unfinished business in a sense?
Absolutely. 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 And I think I'll never have the opportunity to kind of like have a meeting of the minds with them and figuring that out.
Does that still hurt you today?
Yeah, it totally hurts me. I mean, it hurts me because I thought they were my friends.
I
thought they were my friends. I thought they were my friends.
I meant specifically with Heather. Now that she's gone, like you'll never be able to have that. Like you probably still have that with the other ones.
Yeah.
Because they're still here. But with her, that unfinished business, knowing who you are now, is that so, like, does that affect you so much where you're just like, I'll never be able to have that?
Yeah, because you mourn people that are in your family, right? And again, I never even had the opportunity to mourn her. They had a private ceremony. Everything was private. Yes, we had our, going back and forth and the way that it turned out, right? But at the end of the day, I still wanted to pay respects.
Yeah.
I still wanted to be respectful.
Yeah, because it started off friendly.
Correct.
Just because it didn't end that way didn't mean you harbored any hatred.
Yeah,
I understand
and
that.
I think in the beginning, I had a lot of animosity. I think in the beginning, when it all went down, yes, I had hatred in my heart. I'm not going to lie. I hated, but a lot of things have changed in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, Montecito, right? A lot of things have changed in my life. And as you grow older, you do realize that those petty things that you thought were important back in the day, like, getting an invite to the Oscars and the Academy Awards, and, I still do. It's a different level.
Yeah.
It's changed.
Yeah.
It has changed. And family is the most important thing to me right now.
Yeah.
Which is why I thought I was a part of that family.
Do you think the Danny of episode 1 would have been able to say what you just said today?
Oh, God, no. I mean, how many years have we been doing this?
4 or 5 now.
Okay, so when we first started, it's all about me. I'm going to tell you my story. Me, which we still joke about to this day, right? We joke. I joke all the time because I feel like, again, that's that character, right?
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, my God, it's Danny. He's so crazy, right? But, I go home. I go swim. I have a very comfortable, quiet life.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. Yes, is it tumultuous at times? Absolutely. Is it, but everybody's life is. And it goes back to Jennifer saying, no, Danny Rodrigo, you're the only one that's busy. Guess what? My problems are, everybody's got the same problem.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there is going to say, oh, shit, I had the same thing happen to me, which is why I don't want to be dismissive, which is why I brought up Rue's position and point of view, right? I brought that up on purpose because it just seemed to fit. All this family, the funeral that we went to a few weeks ago, and the state of our family, everybody's going through something.
Yeah.
Everybody is going through something. But what I have learned through all of this is that time waits for nobody.
Yep.
And our grandmother said the same thing.
Yeah.
She said, time waits for nobody. So for me, this show's been kind of very emotional. But I'm sorry, I shouldn't say for me. I should say the past week has been emotional for me to see, the people that I revered, the people that were my peers, getting together. And it dredged up feelings that I was in high school again, and I had to put up this fake facade of like, oh, I'm fine with it. I'm fine that they're all getting together and nobody invited me. And I see David and I see all of my friends or who I thought were my friends. Right? I'm fine with that. But I wasn't fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't fine. And listen, I celebrate them. Again, Danny Verdugo did not run that show by himself.
Yeah. And you've said that to me personally and privately.
And maybe all those people thought that they did, but there are many others that deserve to be celebrated, right?
Yes. My question to you, because there's always going to be those that don't believe it, right? So what do you say to those people who are eye-rolling you right now listening to this?
Oh, God. That's a good question. Stop.
I'm going to have to edit that hard. What do you say to the people who are looking at you right now and they're eye-rolling you because they don't believe it? They probably think you're putting it on for a show. I mean, this is a show. It's a talk show. But what do you say to those people?
Gosh, I mean, that's a very valid feeling and a valid response. Until they reach out.
They'll never know.
And they'll never know. And there are people from that show that reach out to me constantly, and I reciprocate.
Yeah.
And I'm reminded, what makes me happy? There are certain people, I don't want to call them out in case they drank the Kool-Aid too. But there are certain people that every now and then will say, you know what? You were my favorite boss.
Yeah, I've been
from both
there.
shows.
Yeah.
Right? From both shows. And
I've seen it firsthand a few times.
And there's people that will say, oh, Danny, you're so crazy. I remember when you did this. And they have memories of me, right? Yeah, that's all I can say. You know what? It's so cliche. For the ones that have stayed in my inner circle and have continued, because that's my new thing. That was my new thing for 2026. And that was, if you reach out to me, I'm going to reach out to you.
Got it.
And if you don't, then I realize now who was the one that was always reaching out.
But that's okay too, right?
Absolutely.
Because it kind of has to be that way.
Yep. But if people reach out, and you see we do shout outs now. Like I'm trying to, I want to bring the people that think that they're a part of the Do It Like Danny family. I want them to feel like they're a part of a family.
I think it's kind of cool that you've understood that you are here because of some of these people.
Absolutely.
And then now you're taking this opportunity to say thank you. Isn't that's come full circle now?
Seriously, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. I can't. Those lovely statues that you see, where are they?
I don't know. Where are they?
Those lovely statues that you see behind me, I didn't get those alone.
Yeah.
I didn't do that alone. Yes, there were blood. Yes, there was blood. Yes, there was sweat. There was tears. But I wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
A lot of people worked extremely hard, and there's people that worked harder than me to create that and to create those. So I can't take 100% credit.
Yeah. Hypothetically, let's say Heather was sitting where I'm sitting and you guys are having this conversation. And what if she looked at you and just said, it was just business. It wasn't personal. How would you feel? Because I'm looking at it in terms of all the stories that you've told me. And a lot of it sounds like it's just business, right? People want that title. People want your position for one of those.
Correct. And that's a valid question. And if she said that to me, that it was just business, I think if I heard it from her, that would have taken the sting out of it that much more, right?
Interesting.
Because even though it was technically business, at the end of the day, it was personal.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was personal.
Yeah.
Because I believed that I was a part of a family, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right? Just the way my mustache thinks it's a part of a family, it's not. Right? See, I still have to make jokes, right? See, I still have to, try to bring something into it. What I can say is I wish them all well, right? In my old age, I wish them all well. I wish them all. I don't harbor any grudge anymore. I don't harbor, people joke, oh, remember, right? And that really is in the past. I mean, even Bill, the comedian guy, we haven't talked in years. And I still don't remember to this day why we don't even talk or how that went south. But I'm pretty sure it had to do with telephone, right? Somebody said this, somebody said that, somebody repeated this, somebody repeated that. And that's how television works. So I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
But I feel at this point, I'm like, the point is moot because we're all getting older.
And the show's over.
Right?
It doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. It seems like some of these people are holding on to the talk because maybe for them, that was their best years, right? Would you say that you're kind of doing the same thing with Tyra? Because I think everybody that watches the show will say your best years seemed like it was Tyra.
Yeah. You know what? My best years were at Tyra. And I understand now what Kieran said when he said it was not the best time for me, right?
Because for him, that was the talk.
Correct.
Isn't that weird?
It's weird, right? But I have to say this though, because it's kind of it's mixed feelings, right? The talk was great until the talk wasn't great anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was a job, it was fun. In my mind, yes, it was Danny Verdugo running around being crazy, but at the end of the day, in my mind, I thought we were a family.
Yeah.
I think the difference between the Tyra and the Talk group, and I'm sure maybe somebody will probably prove me wrong if they're listening to this from the Tyra show, is that if Tyra had a reunion, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that they wouldn't invite.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Yes, there were popular kids in there. But Tyra really instilled a family-like atmosphere. And the ladies in the Talk, they did, but to the inner circle.
Yeah. No, I understand.
So if you weren't a part of the inner circle, well, then you believed you were a part of it, but when it really came down to it, where were they? Where were the ladies?
Yeah.
Where were they?
Yeah.
Yes, some of the newer cast that recently had left the show when it got canceled were there, and that's great. I think that's really nice of them to be able to go and support those people. But again, I have to stand strong on what I said before, which was it was a very big family.
Yeah.
People came, people went, people passed away. There are many people that need to be honored, not just the ones that thought that they ran the show.
Do you think you would have some of these people on to break bread, discuss some of the things that happened?
I would, but at this point, does that really matter, right? I mean, I don't know. Does it matter? Do we care? I feel like I would be holding on to what happened in third grade, right?
Yeah, okay.
Would I love to have people from the show on? Absolutely. And would I prevent them from saying how they really felt? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because everybody deserves a voice.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves an opportunity to say what they feel and what they want, right?
I personally want to know what people thought.
Oh, I'm sure.
I really do.
But here, obviously I didn't get invited.
But like I'm saying, if,
I mean,
if one of them reached out,
granted though, I was asked to leave the party early.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But that's television.
Yeah.
People's contracts don't get continued all the time, so that environment is nothing new, right? But if you truly wanted to be inclusive, if you truly wanted to celebrate everybody, that's the way to do it.
yeah, gotta invite everybody.
You gotta invite everybody. If
Yeah.
you really want to, that's what a family does.
Yeah.
A family celebrates everybody. I mean, for God's sake, don't they do it on, what's that car movie with Dominic, whatever, from
Fast and Furious? It's all about family.
I feel like Paul would say that. I feel like Paul would be like, Debo, it's all about family. Like, what's his name? Oh God, what's Dominic? What?
Dominic Toretto.
Yeah, Dominic Toretto. That's who I think Paul is. Paul acts like Dominic Toretto, right?
Oh my God.
He'll love that.
Yeah, he will.
He'll love that.
So this is like a lot of growth for you, and I think it's kind of interesting to sit here across from you because we've been doing this for so long. And I'm not saying I haven't seen it, but it's funny to see it kind of full circle.
I wanted to do this. I think that because I saw all the posts, right? And everyone's like, oh my God, it's so mean. Right? And I was thinking back, I was like, okay, I could do one of two things, right? I can take the high road or I can take the low road. And I could be mean and I could say some horrible things, which may or may not be the truth, right? But then at the end of the day, it's like, that's not helping anybody.
No.
And it's definitely not helping me, right?
It shows you didn't heal if you did that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to say today, in my own feelings, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
I'm really hurt. I'm hurt. It hurt my feelings. It really did. And there's some people that'll be like, oh, good, finally, right? And that's okay. You're entitled to that.
Yeah.
You're entitled 1,000,000% to that opinion. But that's what it is. It's just an opinion.
But to hold it for so long to say that, it's so wild. You know, I remember those kind of feelings that you get. But then you get older and you're like, I don't care anymore. You do. You really do. You put it behind you. You move on.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm very lucky to have been able to grace the halls of certain productions. I think I'm very lucky to have been able to grace offices of executives that are still in this game today. And God bless them, because let me tell you, it's a hard business to stay a part of.
It's a Game of Thrones. Then.
It really is a Game of Thrones. I mean, David used to name all of the higher-ups names from Game of Thrones.
Really?
Oh, God. Littlefinger.
David, you better come on the show and tell us who they were.
You know, and he's going to be like, I can't believe you threw him in the bus, right? But whatever, David. You went.
The production is over, damn it.
You never even told me, you bastard. No, I'm just kidding, right? No, I love David. I've always loved David because I always felt like it was, if I ever had children, like I would want my son to be like David, right? All of them, I think everyone that's ever worked for me, and I'm proud of all of them. You know, but Callie will kill me if I don't mention her, Kaylee. But she never listens, so I'm not worried about it. You know, Jeff, I've actually been extremely lucky to have been able to hire the people that I wanted, you know, and not a lot of producers never got that ability.
Yeah.
They let Danny do whatever he wanted to do, but I ran a great department.
Yeah.
Put aside whatever you thought of me. At the end of the day, that department ran.
Yeah.
It ran seamlessly. And every single one of my past staff members, even the people that got asked to leave the party early, still contributed to that society, which was the talk audience department.
Yeah.
Yeah, and along the way, I still have some great friendships that I still talk to some of the audience members. You know, listen, we could go on and on. There's the whole audience subculture that, you know, some loved me and some hated me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they can never say that I wasn't fair.
Yep.
I was absolutely 1,000,000% fair. I made sure that the people that, you know, came every single day, you know, we gave opportunity to the people that were there for the first time and let them sit in the front row.
Yeah.
Because they were from Wisconsin or Oklahoma or wherever they were coming from. And yes, some of the regulars were mad, but some of them understood because they knew that they could always come back other days, and that these folks, it was their first time and maybe their last.
Yep.
Right? Why not give them the best time once in their life,
Yeah,
for
I
one
understand that.
last time.
Yeah.
And that's what I believed in, and I believe that until the day that I die.
Yeah. Some people see that, some people don't. but I think you're starting to finally, which is good.
Yeah.
It shows growth in you. It shows that you didn't like, this is the family you've cultivated throughout your life. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. You know, it's been a long road, and I'm very proud now to be a part of this show, even though it's my show. And
Part of this production.
Did you like that? Did you like that? And even our PAs, who I fired all last week.
So we're
We
in
are
the
looking
business
for
for more.
PAs. We just can't seem to keep them. I'm not sure why. How hard is it to separate red M&Ms from the bag? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I think we're gonna end it there.
Yeah.
I think that I've said enough. Right? I said enough. What I want to say is, you know, I thought that I was a part of a family, and I was reminded that I wasn't. And I never want anyone to feel like that ever. So if you feel like you're not a part of a family, you are. I know it sounds silly, but you're a part of the Do It Like Danny family. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And thank you for subscribing. Yes, I had to throw that one in. I'm so sorry because Louie always makes me do it. But I wanted to say thank you. Have a great week.